Hi Sagittarius, this is your monthly astrology forecast for February 2016, and I just want to tell you a little thing that I heard about you the other day, which I thought was just so nice, that there are three fire signs in the chart. Okay, you've got Sagittarius, you've got Leo, and you've got Aries. Aries is at the beginning of the year in spring. It's when fire is kind of just starting and it's in the world, you see things warming up. Leo is the height of summer, and this is for the northern hemisphere, which is astrology is based on. So there's fire everywhere, you know, the plants are living and the flowers are blossoming. And then you've got Sagittarius, which is the fire in the middle of winter, okay? And the fire that you have in the middle of winter is either in the home to comfort and to bring solace, or it's the fire that you have within. It's the self-belief that you can create for yourself. And that's why Sagittarians are such explorers and adventurers, because you're able to take that self-belief and you can take that anywhere. You can take it into the deepest, darkest, most horrendous places and thrive, and you can take it into great places and always remain unsullied and self-reliant. And I thought that was just so nice to see it in that sense. And since you are Sagittarius, I thought I'd share it with you. Okay, so there's a couple of things going on in February. The first of which is that Venus, the planet of love and beauty, that's in your second house in Capricorn, and it sextiles Neptune in Pisces in your fourth on the 1st of February, okay? So this is, you start this month really feeling very good about your financial life and feeling very good about your work. I get the sense that things are going in the right direction. I think you did some soul searching on that before, and you're taking the actions that are the result of that soul searching, and you're being successful in that area. Now, what I also feel is that you will feel most successful and most at peace if you're doing work that is of service to other people and that helps other people. Because that's really your focus at the moment. I think you want to use your strength and use your ability to help others who may not be able to do that. So that's a lot, but that's how you start the month, really feeling that you're in the center of things and that you're doing the right thing. On the 2nd of February, Venus starts to square Uranus, and that's in your 5th house. Now that love for helping people in a general sense and being of service translates on the 2nd, and you become more focused on taking action when it comes to your romantic life. So the 2nd of February is already a very, very positive day, looking at the whole month overall, in terms of your romantic life, because Venus is the planet of love and Uranus is in Aries, about taking action. So this is a great day for you romantically to take action, to approach someone who you've been interested in, to ask someone to go out on a date, to do any of those kind of things. Very, very positive. The 3rd of February sees, let me just check, sees the Moon and Saturn connect with Uranus, and then apex, peak, with the Sun and midheaven in your 3rd house. Okay, so anything that you do romantically will be in line with your feelings. The Moon is in your sign of Sagittarius on this day, so you will feel very much like you know what's going on within. You know, sometimes you can be like, if someone says how you feel, sometimes you just don't know. On this day, the penny will have dropped within you. You'll be operating from here. You'll know exactly what's going on, what it is you want, and communicating on this day. 1, you will come across very well. 2, I think your intentions are in the right place. So this is another fabulous day for you in terms of your romantic love life, because you'll actually pursue something or someone that is good for you, which isn't always the case, and you will put yourself across in a way that's really congruous to who you are. On the 4th day, there is a grand cross in the chart, and a grand cross is 4 squares connecting to create this big red cross in the sky. And it's an area of too much friction, too much energy. Okay, it can be a little bit frazzling. It connects your sense of self, it connects your desire to achieve great things in your working life, it connects your desire to communicate in your relationships, and it also, you may feel a little bit wounded when it comes to your family life, and that's a lot going on. So what I would suggest is that on this day you keep things very simple. You focus on your work, you focus on your career, and you put the practical action in. That's where you have the most success, and that's how you're going to have the best day. And keep things very simple and be nice to yourself. On the 5th of Feb, so that 4th is so far the best day for you in terms of money and career and finance. On the 5th of February, there's a T-square in the chart, and that's between Jupiter and Chiron, and that peaks with the rising sign in the 7th. So again, you may feel somewhat conflicted when it comes to the success that you're having in your work, the lack of success you may be having in your family life, and the way forward is to communicate that and to focus on where you ultimately want to get to. Now let me just qualify that a little bit. If you're having a lot of success in your working life, you'll know where you're going. You know, the projects are working, the promotion's on the horizon. I can pursue that. And I can communicate that and really do the things I wanted to get there. Family, if it's difficult and if the conversations you're having with people are likely to affect some positive change, then by all means go down that road. But if you know that what you're going through emotionally with, so for instance, a negative family member, and they're just arguing for the sake of arguing, and you know it's not going to change anything, then don't bother. Don't waste your energy. You can use your gifts and talents in your working life, and that will actually lead somewhere. There's a yod in the chart on the next day, on the 6th of February, and a yod is also known as the finger of God. It presents a really kind of karmic influence. Now, it connects your Mars, which is in Scorpio, in your 12th house, and it connects Venus, which is in Capricorn, in your 2nd house, and both of those point towards your rising sign in the 7th. Mars is the archetypal male energy, and Venus is the archetypal female energy. And when they come together, they create new life between them, okay? And this kind of manifests itself in your ability to communicate and in your ability to differentiate between what is useful and what isn't. So you, Sagittarius, you learn something about your relationships in this first week of February, and you become much clearer and able to segment them into what you will engage with and what you won't engage with. And that is a very wonderful lesson to learn, because it will save you a lot of time in future. On the 8th, the new moon occurs, and the new moon occurs in Aquarius, in your 3rd house. Now, the new moon is when the moon is totally black, and it pulls new information in, or new energy in. And because it's in Aquarius, it pulls in information about humanity, how to be of service to humanity, how to help. It's got your midheaven next to it, and on this day, you will really be able to communicate even better, exceptionally well, and by putting those ideas, communication in forms of words, but also the ideas behind the words, by putting those ideas into practice, you can really have a major leap forward in terms of what you're doing. Now, I know this sounds very, you know, for instance, if you're an employee at a post office, okay, and if you have a wonderful idea, it's not like you can go to your boss and say, I think we should do things this way, and suddenly the whole post office is going to change its policies and routines and change things because you had an idea. Okay, so take that with a pinch of salt. But the other, if you're self-employed and you have certain processes, or you're selling certain products, or you're offering certain services, and you get this idea of, hey, this is something I could do that would really help people, then you're free to make those choices. And you're free to implement that, okay? And remember, this forecast is for all Sagittarius, all Sagittarians. So anyone born in that 30-day period. So obviously your circumstances are going to vary. A natal birth chart reading based on your specific chart is going to be more accurate. It's going to take those personal things that were happening in the sky when you were born into account. This is for Sagittarius as a whole, okay? I just wanted to qualify that, because obviously these are the trends and these are the energies, but they're going to manifest themselves differently in people's lives depending on their circumstances. So that's the new moon. Watch out for information coming in basically that may inspire you to make changes. It will be positive, and if you listen to it, you can actually make things better. On the 12th, Chiron stops quincunxing the Ascendant. And what that does is the ability to communicate your ideas very, very well and to pick up things from other people and to really be inspired, that kind of eases off a bit and you return to normality more. So all of the inspirational stuff, all of the insights, make note of them before the 12th. I don't think you'll be as inspired moving forward, okay? On the 13th, the moon starts to square Venus and Mercury. Pluto, Venus and Mercury are all in your second house in Capricorn. And the moon is in the 6th house. Your biggest gift this month, Sagittarius, is work. You are going to have an exceptional month of work. You will do really, really well. Even, you know, you do have these ideas to make things better, but even if you didn't have ideas, the things that you're doing already are working superbly for you, and you're going to enjoy an excellent month in your working life. You like what you're doing, you love what you're doing even, you feel connected to it, you feel like what's happening is right, you feel like changes are happening in the right situations and the right things are changing, and you feel at ease. And that joy really kind of manifests itself into physical, financial, money success for you. On the 14th, Mercury goes into Aquarius, and Mercury is the planet of communication. It rules Virgo and it rules Gemini. Okay, it rules Virgo and it rules Gemini. Gemini is an air sign and Virgo is an earth sign. But Mercury now moves into Aquarius, which is also an air sign, and Mercury likes being in an air sign because things move quickly, it can communicate well, it's not impeded by earth or things heavy blocking its way. Not only that, it's in the 3rd house of communication. So your Mercury is now ideally placed. Your ideas are going to be exceptional. The content of your words is going to be very, very good. And the intellectual kind of relationships that you form are going to be very good and constructive. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you spent the last 2 weeks playing PlayStation 4, and now something within you says, hey, don't you think it might be a good idea to study for this exam, which could actually help you in future? That's the kind of thing here that's happening. The quality and the content of your intellectual relationships improves and gets much better. And that's why you can have a good idea. That's why you can learn new skills that you can use, because it improves in that sense. There's also a grand trine in Earth, which means there's a real talent and ease for taking practical action. Combined with this Mercury shift, I think that if you decide to sign up for something practical like a course, or you take on a new job, or you sign a contract today, this is the best day to do it. Valentine's Day for you is all about money, career, and finance. It's really, really an amazing day for you to solidify those things. And then, you know, looking at the romantic relationship side of things, you've got Uranus in Aries anyway all month. That is something that's going on behind the scenes all the time. So you don't need to do just one thing or the other. You can focus on career and enjoy real success, but you can also do well with your romantic life. This day specifically though, I think you should focus more on money, because if you ask for more money when you're starting a new job, or if you're signing something, you will get the best out of it, and your brain, your thoughts, the quality and quantity of these things is really, you're operating at top speed at your very best. Okay, so no brain fog on this day. On the 16th, the moon opposes Saturn. And the Saturn is in your 1st house of self, in your sign. So you do, I mean, a lot of people have said, oh no, Saturn's going to be in my sign for 2.5 years. I personally think that it opens the path for you. I think you'd stop questioning yourself so much and you just accept yourself more, and you just kind of go with what is. So there's much more acceptance in your life. But this opposes Gemini, the Gemini moon on the other side of the chart. And I feel that your way of thinking, your views on things, may come across something that is foreign to you. Be open-minded to hear the other person out, or the concept out if you're reading a book, because I think it will become a new belief that you can adopt for yourself. So this is the best date for you in terms of your education. You learn something new. On the 17th, Venus goes into Aquarius, also in the 3rd house. So everything to do with communication you absolutely love. So I want you to get really busy researching, learning, studying. This is really your biggest gift now over this period. The 17th of February, you're going to be like a sponge. You can absorb absolutely everything. The moon also conjuncts the rising sign, then the 7th. And it squares Jupiter and the North Node in your 10th. So not only is this information going to form a kind of mental relationship within you, so something that you'll take to, something that you'll appreciate. So again, an example of this, Marxism was an idea, but because a lot of people took to it, it became something alive, and it became this whole Marxist philosophy. Same thing, you're learning something that you're going to take to, that you're going to like, and you can use that to improve your career. So it's all kind of coming together from all different sides. On the 19th, there's a kite in the chart, and that's something that can really take flight, and that can become, that it has a life of its own, and it becomes realized. That's in water and in earth. So this is about really coming to terms. Wow, okay, this is a bit of an anomaly for you in the chart on the 19th. I think you'll have a moment of quiet reflection where you really come to terms with some of the things that happen for you in terms of your family life, some of the disappointments you've had, and you'll get an insight why you did the things you did, especially with your career. And they're linked. So some sort of childhood disappointment took you down the path of your work that you're now on, and had a massive influence on you. And this kind of realization, you'll be able to connect the dots and come to terms with it and make peace with it. That's quite profound. So for instance, if you as a kid, I don't know, if you as a child were on a bike and you injured yourself, you put your feet in the spokes or something, and that kind of gave you the idea that no child should suffer like that, and you went into medicine, that's a direct impact. And I think there's something about you in your work that has a deeper meaning, that you connect the dots that way. Because you connect the dots and see the meaning, the work will become even more purposeful, and you'll enjoy it even more. So that doesn't really help you in any practical sense, it's much more up here. And again, this whole month is very cerebral for you, and a lot of the stuff that goes on is in your head. But things become much more focused. It's like a kaleidoscope, you twist it and things alter, and you see much more clearly in terms of the inner workings of you, Sagittarius. On the 20th, the moon opposes Venus and Mercury. Venus and Mercury in your 3rd house love the communication. Now the moon in that Leo sector in the 9th, which is education and travel, you might have the urge to follow up on something. So if you've been learning about Ayurvedic medicine, you may get the idea to travel to India to discover it even more. Or if you've been looking at clairvoyance, you may want to go to Geneva to train with a medium or something like that. There's a real sense of, I feel inspired, I feel lit up by this. That moon is in Leo until the 22nd, so you'll feel that over this 2-day period, a real sort of sense of excitement. You know when you learn something and you feel just so excited and enthusiastic by it, that really lights you up over those 2 days. On the 21st as well, there's a grand trine, that fire, but really you're going to have to differentiate, because all of us get these kind of obsessions and these exciting moments, and some of them are they don't go anywhere, some of them are totally harebrained, and some of them really change our lives. If it's really urgent and it's the first time you've ever heard of this or thought of this, then it's very likely that it's the ego kind of misguiding you. If it's something that's long term and that you've thought about before and that keeps coming up, then it's usually something you can trust. If you're uncertain, just kind of hesitate, but don't go rushing off and quit your job because you've got this wonderful idea to become a circus performer. That kind of thing isn't helpful. This is about inspiring you to learn something new and positive, but it doesn't need to affect your existing life or change your existing life. It doesn't need to affect it negatively or change your life at all as it is, okay? The full moon occurs in Virgo on the 22nd, and a full moon is a coming to fruition period. It's when things blossom, and that's in Virgo in your 12th house. No, not in your 12th house, in your 10th house at the 12th position of the clock, so it's at noon, okay? And this is the best day for you in the month work-wise, and you've already had a fabulous day. So now with this full moon, practical things just get ordered, fall into place. You're going to be absolutely madly in love with your work, and things will be going your way and the way you'd like them to. Now, on the 24th, the moon conjuncts Jupiter, the north node, and the moon conjuncts Jupiter and the north node, all three of which are in that 10th house. Another excellent day for you at work. You feel completely at peace with what you're doing, and it's a sense of ease and comfort. On the 26th of February, there's another T-square. And now the theme changes again very much to romance, relationships, and reigniting hopes and dreams there. Romance has been kind of a background theme all month for you anyway. You've been pursuing that. You may get a very positive response from someone. Here's some good news. Someone sends you a nice text message, and that alters the nature of your relationship. So it doesn't mean that the love of your life drops out of the sky. It means that someone you know already, you deepen the relationship with that person through positive interaction. On the 28th, there's a grand trine in water. And this is coming to terms with something that happened in your family. So this thing kind of keeps coming up. Something from the past, kind of every couple of days here at the end of February, keeps reoccurring and popping up. And you're able to kind of let go of this once and for all. First time was when you see the point and meaning it's got for your work. Now something else may appear that allows you to understand it more and to let it go, but this can be very, very liberating for you. And then we've got the 29th, because it's a leap year, so we've got an extra day here in February. And that ends with you, again, feeling very connected with spirituality, but possibly wanting to control the emotional side of things a little bit more. So the last 2 days are about this emotional thing coming up. Make sure to let it go, don't hang on to it, and maybe even take that time for yourself to really do some soul searching. 28th of February is a Sunday, and the Monday is the 29th. Okay, so the Sunday, if you've got Sunday some time, really make a list or see, this is what hurts me from my childhood, or this is the key event and it affected my life because. And then write out what's going on there so you can let it go. Often putting it down in black and white is really helpful. So it looks like a very mixed month for you in terms of loads of different things going on. I hope that's given you something to go on. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next month for the monthly forecast. And I'm also on the channel every day for the daily tarot forecast. So have a wonderful February, and I'll speak to you soon.